and breakable, glass is a difficult material to work with. A challenge dealt with and triumphed over by this self-taught artist. Through experimentation and innovation, this sculptor upcycles industrial waste glass and turns them into exquisite works of art. Here at Museo Orlina, everyone is welcome to see the brilliance of Ramon Orlina. But more importantly, one gets to experience his journey spanning 4 decades of creativity and learn why he's known as the father of Philippine glass sculpture.
Create Season 2, Monday, 9 p.m. Only here on Colors.
Fragile and breakable, glass is a difficult material to work with. A challenge dealt with and triumphed over by this self-taught artist. Through experimentation and innovation, this sculptor upcycles industrial waste glass and turns them into exquisite works of art. Here at Museo Orlina, everyone is welcome to see the brilliance of Ramon Orlina. But more importantly, one gets to experience his journey spanning 4 decades of creativity and learn why he's known as the father of Philippine glass sculpture. Mr. Orlina, thank you for having us here at Museo Orlina. It's beautiful.
Thank you, Daphne.
As an artist and architect, why did you choose glass as your medium?
Well, actually, I studied architecture. And if you think of modern architecture, it was steel and glass. So maybe it started from there. And maybe during the time that I was staying in Taal, our house, or my grandmother's house, was the only house in the whole Batangas that has glass instead of kapis. Okay. And it was done by my great-grandfather.
So that's where you got the...
I think, because I didn't even meet my grandmother.
Right.
So it's my great-grandfather who was, we called in Taal, Antonio Pintor. So maybe your artistic side, I think, came from that Medina line.
Let's talk about this work behind us here. This is a very significant piece. And I know that it's just a reconstruction of a bigger piece that you've done. Is that true?
Yeah, reconstruction of the piece that I did for the Silahis Hotel in 1976.
All right.
To tell you frankly, that one, or the one similar to this one, is my very first work in sculpture.
That was your very first one, it's so significant. Okay.
Very significant.
All right.
So I was studying how to do it, and Silahi suddenly commissioned me to do it. Okay. So I'm quite happy that it's now in the National Museum of Natural Art.
It's a mural art, actually. It's a wall piece, rather than a three-dimensional.
Like in the round one. Yeah.
Right. So, and it's illuminated by a light that doesn't directly cast light in one spot. It goes, it's diffused.
It's diffused because it's a silver-coated lighting. So nagbabounce.
Does it mean anything? Does it stand for anything?
Not really. It's an abstract piece. It's 12 sections, which represent the 12 months of the year. Okay. And during the time it was in Silahis, it was in front of the sun.
Oh, the sun, yeah.
So magkatapat sila. No? So okay lang.
Okay.
There are 2 kinds of method of working on glass, the hot technique and the cold technique. The hot technique is when you are blowing
right, from the fire.
With a fire. So you handle the glass. In my case, I don't handle the glass. I don't work on the glass. I get the glass on its chunk, solid, hard form already. Wherein I cut, I grind, I smooth, polish, and that's where I get my forms. Which is good because I can do it slowly. Like, let's say in glass blowing, you have to do it in, let's say, 15-20 minutes. Right. It's a rush, no? But mine is a little bit
you have more time. Okay.
Yeah, more time, but I can have more forms that I like.
From Silahis, how did you become Ramon Orlina, the glass sculptor?
It's a long story, because actually when I started painting on glass, during my first exhibition, 80% was sold.
Okay.
But when I went into glass sculpture, of the 25 pieces, I only sold 5.
Oh.
So I think there is something wrong, no? Because I think the people in the Philippines doesn't know what I'm doing. They see a glass, and it's hard to exhibit sculptures.
Right.
Painting, you buy it and you hang it. If you don't like it, you take it out. But the sculpture, you have to have a stand, you have to have a light, you have to... But yeah, it was a struggle for me. So I did this in 1976. You know, when I really got known was in 1986.
10 years.
10 years. It was a struggle. Hindi naman walang ano. But you know, hindi yung pareho ngayon. I have so many commissions that I cannot handle it. No? But during that time, it was a struggle. But it's a lucky thing that I was able to get 2 commissions in Singapore. And these are big ones.
Okay.
Really 4 meters high. Monumental.
Okay.
My development was in Singapore.
Singapore first rather than here.
Then when the Filipinos get to learn that, naman pala magaling, ano? O yung doon lang nagsimula.
Ng mga orders na commissions and shows.
Shows and everything.
You mentioned monumental art. I know that one of your recent works was this UST 400th
400-year anniversary. Yeah, they commissioned me to do it. And since it's outside, I was thinking that it's better to make it in bronze. But it must have glass, which is my signature. So it was bronze and glass. But I convinced them to do it in Thailand because the Thailand technology on bronze casting is quite ahead than anybody.
Okay. So the bronze casting was in Thailand, but the glass was
from here.
And you put it together.
Put it together here. But I made it, the casting was in Thailand, so it's very thin lang, 1/4 inch, compared to those that they are making here, medyo makapal.
Kapal.
It's a good thing I was able to do it. But I stayed in Thailand for 1 year.
Wow, just to manage
Yeah,
that.
to manage it.
Amazing. You've spent your lifetime working on glass.
Yeah, I'm 40 years doing this, you know.
Yeah. Is it still exciting to you?
Yeah, especially now that I have a daughter who is working also on glass. Right now she is in Czech Republic now, and I'm quite happy with what she has been doing. She was in Pilchak school 2 years ago. 1 year ago she was in Corning, and when I saw her work came by the box after 2 months, and I was quite amazed. I'm quite happy because if she succeeded, and a lot of people wants her to exhibit already.
Okay.
But I told her, okay, you still go study pa. So now she's in the Czech Republic because most of her teacher in Pilchak and in Corning Museum of Glass were all from the Czech Republic. You know.
So how does that make you feel as the country's premier and only glass sculptor?
No, there's still now some sculptors who are doing glass.
Okay, but quite the original, Orlina, and seeing next generation, your own daughter, following in your footsteps.
Yeah, I'm quite happy because, you know, I think my friends were saying, hey Ramon, after the show, I show you what she did, no? Hey Ramon, you know, your daughter is telling you to retire already. So I told her, you know, the artists, we have no retirement, you know. But I think I'm very happy because, you know, all the parents want their children to be better than them.
True.
If you surpass me, then that's my own
job well done. But you've been doing this for over 40 years, you said. You've seen the nation go through so much, and your pieces are really collected by important people in our country and appreciated by many. What do you think your art signifies to the Filipino, or I mean, what role did you play as an artist in how art developed here?
Well, one thing I can say really is I work on something that nobody is doing or working, and I have developed it into something very different. Even the Americans who went here or see my work, see those textures on rope. They don't even know how to do it. You know. These are all my trial and errors. You know. Because as you hold glass or you touch glass every day, you get to know about the character of the glass. And yeah, so from very prismatic na ganito, naging curve, naging organic, nagkameron ng texture, nagkameron ng butas, di ba? These are the things that you develop every day. Hindi naman basta ganun kadali, di ba? Hindi mahirap magbutas. Kailangan ng butas mo, kailangan magtapat dito, at mababasag. These are the things na, no. But my glass is very strong because it's well annealed by Republic glass. So well annealed means, you know, slow cooling. So instead of cracking into small pieces, it cracks into big ones. You know?
Okay.
And I get it by jackhammers.
Wow.
So ngayon, isa-isa kinukuhan. So I was able to get good quality glass.
Amazing. And you certainly developed a mastery of this technique that
Yes.
kayo lang.
Yes, that's why I have no problem in this world now in the Philippines.
So, creator, inventor,
yeah.
original, master, amazing.
It gives life to the popular notion that contemporary glass was a creation of Europe and North America. No, sabi niya is Pilipino na una na dito. But you know, hindi ko masasabi sa mga critic natin, would you believe? Yun, sa atin na lang ngayon. Maganda, di ba? Would you believe nobody has written about it?
Here.
Yeah. Because nobody knows what is glass.
Mr. Orlina, this museum overlooks Taal, the town
Yes.
you grew up in.
Yes.
What are your fond memories of growing up in that town?
Oh, actually, I spent my high school there. My elementary was in Manila. So one thing good about staying in Taal is I get to know the town folks, you know. So I know the old people, I know my classmates. So meron kang roots yan. So also, I'm exposed to art, the architecture, and also the heritage.
Beautiful old houses.
All the houses.
What was it like when you were a child? Like, were you playing with forms? Were you...
Yeah, my mother knows that I am maybe artistic, you know, because that Antonio Pintor got married 3 times.
Okay.
So it's my great-grandfather.
Your great-grandfather is Antonio Pintor.
He got married 3 times. Ang tatlo is yung mga Fernandez. Maybe you know, Jim Fernandez, he made Suma, yung drawing, yung may
Okay.
ahas.
So artist then?
Yeah, he was a
Comic
illustrator.
illustrator. Okay.
Tapos ginawa ano. So, bata pa ako, I'm exposed to comics, you know.
Nag-drawing kayo? Mahilig kayo
Yeah, mahilig
mag-drawing
akong
din?
drawing. My mother naman is my mother is a very intelligent woman. So, bibili siya ng mga papel, lapis, lahat. So, pag gusto kong sisimba, pag sabi ko, ma'am, bili ako ng classic. Kasi, mga Huckleberry Finn, mga Last of Mohicans, di ba? Prince Valiant. Yan ang regalo sa akin para makabili ngayon ako ng pagsimba, di ba? So, this na-expose ngayon ako sa drawings. So, alam ko ang perspective ng drawings and everything. So, yun. Maganda ang aking training as a bata pa.
As a child.
So,
Paano kayo naging interesado sa architecture?
well, actually, it's a more practical. During actually, it was in the 60s, you know, mid-60s, that I took up, I was planning to take up fine arts, but actually, during that time, puro mga bitnik pa eh. Wala
Beatnik?
Bitnik, wala pang ano, wala, di ba? Well, teka muna, it's more practical to be an architect. So, I took up architecture, and yeah, I'm quite happy. In 4 years, I was able to finish.
You went all the way, including boards, everything.
Yeah, I'm a registered architect. Then I worked with Carlos Arguelles for 4 years. Then I worked on my own. And yeah, for 4 years I was on my own office until I shifted into painting after 1 year to sculpture. So I'm quite happy. But my classmate was asking me, Ramon, ba't ka ba naging artist? Di ba, pare-pareho tayo nagti-3 square and triangle, di ba? Sabi ko, teka muna, do you notice? Noong pre-hand drawing, we have 2 years of pre-hand drawing, walang triangle. Ako lang exempted sa pre-hand drawing. The professor said, okay, Mr. Orlina, you are exempted.
Is there any trace of your architecture training that you use in sculpting glass?
Oh yeah. Especially the big ones, you know. Let's say the one in Singapore, where it's all metal steel, no?
You had mentioned that from the time that you first showed your work in Silahis, you had a 10-year struggle.
Yes.
How did you deal with the struggle?
There's no problem because my parents are, I can say, we're well off. So I don't have to think about what my matriculation,
you could eat.
everything. I can eat. My father was angry with me. What are you doing? Because my office was converted into a studio.
Okay.
And when he visited, I am all with paints and everything. Telling my mother, hey, your son is getting crazy. What is happening? He studied architecture and now he's
an artist.
Yeah, but I'm quite happy with what I did.
The landscape, the art landscape, the collector mentality,
Yes.
the whole boom of art galleries in Manila. You rode through that. I mean, 15 years ago, it wasn't this dynamic, and now everyone is buying art,
Yes.
collecting art.
Yes, I'm quite happy for the artists because now the younger artists can study art. During the time I cannot study art, magugutom ka, something like that. But right now, they are encouraging the art to be artists. That's one of the reasons I built this. Would you believe when I finished architecture, I haven't been to any gallery. Why? There's only one gallery this time, the Philippine Art Gallery. Paano ko pupunta? Nasa Ermita yun eh. I live in Sampalo, UST is in Sampalo. So, nag-aral ako ng high school, ng elementary, sa San Sebastian, nandun pa rin sa Quiapo pa rin, di ba? So, bihira ako sa Ermita.
It's interesting to note that there was a time when, even in Europe and in America, glass sculpture wasn't really considered an art. It was more of a craft.
Yeah, it belongs to the, it's craft.
What do you feel about that?
Because during the 70s, there is this guy, Dale Chihuly, started working on glass. And right now, he is considered the father of American glass or glass in America. Now there are schools in America, in Australia, in Japan, teaching glass. So I was able to elevate the glass from a craft. Kasi dati decorative art eh. Hindi talagang art. Pero I was able to uplift the Philippines. Kaya sabi nga sulat doon sa sinulat ng Australiano, 1976. In the 70s, there were very few contemporary works made, contemporary works done, worldwide as big as that one. It gives life to the popular notion that contemporary glass was a creation of Europe and North America. No, sabi niya is Pilipino na una na dito. But hindi ko masasabi sa mga critic natin, would you believe? Yun, sa atin na lang ngayon, maganda, di ba? Would you believe nobody has written about it?
Here?
Yeah. Because nobody knows what is glass. Nobody has studied glass. Pero ngayon, sa Europe, meron na. Hindi mag-aaral ang anak ko sa Czechoslovakia o sa Czech Republic kung walang glass. Nagpunta ako 1983 doon. The master, si Libensky, told me, after I showed my work in 1983, which hindi pa ganito kadami, he stood up and embraced me and called me El Maestro.
Wow.
Gulat ako, di ba?
And to be recognized by masters themselves
Yeah.
in the Czech Republic.
I'm happy with what I have done.
You should be. It's beautiful and it's for everyone to see now. Even if we can't afford an Orlina, we can come here and marvel at what you have done. It's
The
so
U.S.
beautiful.
ambassador was here the other Friday and brought four guests from America. So imagine the ambassador bringing his guests to my museum. It's quite an honor, you know. I'm inspired by so many things, you know. My family, cloud formation, the lake, the volcano, the trees. Sometimes people were telling me, oh, how did you get inspired by a nude? Where did you get the form? Well, siguro, madaling sabihin na, let's say, it was past experiences na memorize ko na. In my case also, sometimes I really have to work without inspiration because I have to work every day because I have assistant that does the finishing of my work. So if I did not work on anything, they won't do anything. So that time or those moments, you know, like it's just my sketching that I do it without inspiration. Abstract form, so I let the creation at the same time as the conception. Art, it's everywhere. Maybe it's environmental art, something that is more creative than just making statements. Sometimes kasi pwede rin statements lang eh. But I think there must be some material that must be involved. And maybe the reason medyo gusto ko yung class is because of its three-dimensional quality. Cannot be found in, let's say, marble, or granite, or even wood. Kasi I can go inside, let's say, go into the space which can be in its fourth dimension. So nagkakameron ng kwarto, even there is no kwarto inside there. Maganda kasi arkitekto ko, so at least mas na-experience ko or na-feel ko ang forms ng space. So I can create space within the glass. And that is, I can say, also a gift, you know. Because when I look at the piece, I have to envision what is on the side, at the back, because you can see my pieces. When you look in front, you can see the back. You can see the side. So at least you have to be good in all the sides. Also into photography. So I have to have it framed, let's say. Like in painting, you have to frame it. Tignan mo kung ito eksakto o dito. So meron kang frame to have a composition. Hindi ko gusto ng makalat. So ano nangyayari? The simpler the better. The less line, the better. But sometimes you cannot take out na maraming lines, but the way how you separate it from the horizontal and the vertical is how art can be seen. That is very important with any artist, you know. Tiyaga, the forms and everything that you will create is there. You have to, let's say in sculpture, you have to take out some and maybe some lines. You have to be matiyaga. And don't expect that it will just come out like that. Maybe you change, even me, sometimes I stop working, I come back for it next month, wherein my thoughts will be different already because I have to stop because there is no connection with the first or the second line that I did na hindi siya tatama doon sa third line. These are the things that cannot be taught. This is within yourself. This is how you see it. Maganda dito sa akin pati is, it's how you feel it. Kasi hindi lang ang sense of sight, meron akong the sense of touch. Kasi people, when they see my work, they don't like just to look at it, but they want to touch it. Yeah? And that's another sense which is added to the, how do you call this, appreciation of my art. And light is very important with my sculpture because light can go in, it can penetrate, it can reflect, it can refract. Every material has its own quality, and that's what I think I have done for the past years. Knowing the material is the best way to work on anything.
You created a medium, an art form that is original and unique. How do you want to be seen as in the future? Is this something you want to pass on to more Filipinos, and what have you done to transfer or share the knowledge?
Sabi nga nila, Ramon, wala kang tinuturuan. I have 19 or 20 assistants. All of them knows what I'm doing. One of these days, I'll have them prepare something. But now, would you believe, because I'm good to my assistant, you know that I have a second generation assistant already who can help my daughter also. So may continuity na yan. So I can call a legacy. Di ba? So I'm happy with what I have done.
Well, you should be. It's beautiful and it's for everyone to see now. Even if we can't afford an Orlina, we can come here and marvel at what you have done.
The U.S. ambassador was here the other Friday and brought four guests from America. So imagine the ambassador bringing his guests to my museum. It's quite an honor. I like sharing my experiences.
It's beautiful, and we have a lot to learn from you, and we're very inspired by what you've done. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Always a pleasure talking with you. I love hanging out here. Thank you. Through his masterpieces that are now iconic markers of historical and cultural landmarks, Ramon Orlina has carved his rightful place in our art heritage. And as transparent as his chosen medium, he is clearly our nation's pride. More than its fragile beauty, these works are a solid testament to this sculptor's genius and legacy. By shattering the limited mindset about the craft and forging his own path, Ramon Orlina revolutionized an art form for future generations to engage and create with.